Look, everybody has their thoughts on 5 string versus 4 strings. Let's talk about that kind of stuff. What is up, guys? Welcome to Hero Bass, a place where we talk about bass gear, and music related topics. My name is Norman. I hope you guys are doing awesomely well. On today's episode, we're gonna do a little bit of conversation. And before we go, everybody has their thoughts on 5 string versus 4 strings. Let's talk about that kind of stuff. 4 string, 5 string. Talk about 5 things we gotta take in consideration when we going for play our bass for whatever things you need. Okay, pro or con depending on which one you're playing. Number one, with a 4 string, you have a limited range. So in this case, I have my favorite bass in the world, Rocky, here, right? If you haven't seen my review of this bass and me talking about it and all that sort of thing, you can check up the cards above. It'll be right there also in the description below. With this bass, it's tuned from C to E flat. So I have E flat, B flat, F, and C, right? This takes care of the low end in any situation that I need. But if you have a bass that's from G to E, that's perfectly fine as well. No problem with that. I can get that low B, and I can even go to B flat on just with the hip tuner, but then I'm missing my high notes. Like all the notes I can get from this spot, I'm pretty much missing them with this bass. If you have a standard instrument that's in standard tuning, then you're gonna be missing all the low stuff. So it's one of those things where which rather will you be playing? Okay, so that's a plus on the 5 string. You're gonna have an extended range. You have a lower string. Okay. Point number 2 is the neck width. I believe that without a shadow of a doubt, you have to be really comfortable to play the bass you're playing. And if you have really short fingers, pretty much coming to play a bass like a 4 string like this one is going to be incredibly well. If you're going to play something like a 5 string, then if that neck width is extremely distant from, the strings and stuff like that, you're going to be having troubles like reaching notes and stuff like that. Now, if you're really comfortable with it, by all means, go for it. Then when you have a 4 string, you're going to feel like it's going to feel very narrow, okay? So there's no, for this one, I feel like nobody won. It's just more of taste. We also have to talk about the weight. Typically, and this doesn't go for all the basses out there, this is a Stingray bass. It's an American-made one. This bass is not on the light side, but it's not on the heavy side as well. It's almost 9-pound-ish. Now, on the other hand, this bass is what we would call the equivalent of a Stingray 5 bass, right? This is the imported line. Price-wise, is a lot lower budget compared to the American one. This one, having that extra string, having that extra wood, it's super heavy. This was almost 11 pounds of space. I managed to take off at least 1.5 pounds from it, changing some of the hardware on it. Typically 5 strings, relating to the same version of the 4 string, they can be a little bit heavier. So that's another thing. If you have a back injury like myself, I had to take care of my back. So typically what I do is I typically most of the time play with this 4 string. Reason number 4. There's a learning curve that comes in this. Whether you want it or not, you have to understand now the distance of notes. You have that extra low string or you have that extra high string. Sometimes they tune it differently depending on the bass they got. Just having these extra strings and having the extra frets is going to give you so many more options. In my case, I like to keep my options limited because sometimes I can get a little bit crazy. And I just want to go there and play what I got to play, and that's about it. But when it comes to having more options, having a 5 string, if you're not used to the set, you're not used to the things you're playing, can be very detrimental to your playing. So I'll recommend just go whatever you feel comfortable with and just make sure that you're playing everything like what it needs to be done, okay? And point number 5 would be price. Price-wise, typically, if you're going to buy a Fender jazz bass, the equivalent version of that bass, a Fender 5-string jazz bass, is going to be a bit pricier. Sometimes it's $100 more bucks, sometimes it's $200 bucks, depending on the brand, depending on the type of bass. Price-wise, it's going to be a little bit more. So I would just recommend do your research. So, with that being said, with that being done, guys, I thank you for checking out this channel. Please, if you like this type of content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification so you can be notified every single time we drop a new video. Please check us out in all our other social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we will see you guys in the next one.